Hey there, Zesty Boys, and welcome back to the Zesty Podcast. My name, of course, is Tony Shire.
And I'm Joey Becknell.
And we are, of course, brought to you by the mixtape Soundonomy 334 Easter Hex on Mixcloud.com. Man, I am just slurring.
You're making us look silly.
I'm doing all sorts of slurs
You're making us
today.
Look silly.
We're going to lose our one sponsor. But yeah, we're brought to you by Soundonomy 334 Easter Hex. The new mixtape has all sorts of great new music I can almost guarantee you've never heard. It's got foreign music, it's got new music, all sorts of stuff. If you're in a song rut, get on Soundonomy 334 Easter Hex on Mixcloud.com or on Spotify.com. You can find all, or at least that one, on Spotify if you prefer to use that other than going to a third-party website. And Soundonomy, thank you so much for your support, and we are in the show now.
What is up? It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you. This quarantine stuff's getting a little crazy. We got masks just in case the virus comes in here. We're gonna put these masks on.
We'll slap these babies on.
We'll slap them right on. Maybe slap each other's tuchuses if we're getting a little naughty.
Yeah, y'all wish.
Oh yeah, you have to go to the Patreon for Patreon exclusive tuchus slaps. Yeah, the ZestyBoyz OnlyFans. It's quite lewd, to say the least.
Yeah, I'll send you if you sponsor us or send me money. I'll send you the referee jersey that I threw up in.
We might need that again. You can't make these promises.
You're right. Shit.
It took me almost 5 minutes to make.
Take that back.
Just a Hanes 3-pack that I spray painted.
Nice.
Next time we'll get you a small shirt because I feel like that'd be even funnier if you were super uncomfortable in what you were wearing.
My gut was like hanging out the bottom of it.
That's content right there.
That is content. That's right.
I did recently take down my video where I just drank 8 beers and threw up all over the place.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed how the video did. I don't really care that it didn't get a lot of views, but I more just took it down just because I put my YouTube on my resume because I asked a bunch of different possible employers and people in the past, and I was like, is this something I should put? And they're like, oh yeah, definitely, because it shows that you're actually making stuff. And I figured it's probably best to take that down. I'm keeping the Pacer thing up because you have to go pretty deep into the Pacer to see. Oh, I mean, there's the trailer at the beginning.
Well, also it's funny.
Yeah, and you don't know it's me in the Pacer one because my entire name is faked. I think my name's like Drillbit something or another.
Well, and the whole entire there's a vision there. I love that you sat in front of a camera and threw up and drank beer, but
it shows my sports production chops, low budget sports production.
Exactly.
I mean, in my sports production class in college, there were people whose final projects looked worse than that. So,
and not to mention if they do have some company, maybe a company softball tournament. No one's sober at those things, and it might be a little shoe-in for you.
Oh yeah,
when they're interviewing you, they might be
this guy's our ringer.
Yeah, this dude's
he can hit a dinger out into left field after a few brews, after a few Sam Adam front porches.
Bingo,
baby.
Woo.
Speaking of bingo, we're gonna start up a Zesty Brews bingo board. If you follow Zesty Brews with the Zesty crew, so you can follow along. We'll probably start it for season 2, just because we already have so many on season 1.
Yeah.
And more than a bingo board worth of brews, I'd say. I think it's right over the amount, because I think we did 27 and there's 25 on a bingo board.
Yeah, so we can throw out, I don't know. We'll throw out the ones that are...
Shit, it was Zima. We'll throw Zima out.
Zima. Get Zima out of here.
No one wants Zima. Zima was the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
If you work for Zima... close this window and never visit this channel again.
We don't want you. Unless you want to give us an ad. We'll do an ad read for Zima, though.
If you want to give us money, I will pretend to like Zima.
We just have to wear Zima crop tops for the rest of the series.
You know what? On second thought, I want that to happen. Yeah. Please, Zima, find us.
We're reaching out to you. We want you. So does it sound like the headphones are a lot louder than normal to you, or is it just me?
Yeah, mine sound pretty clear.
Okay, because I was freaking out that I was recording too hot, but I think I just have the headphone volume up, and that's what's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Or maybe I have your mic that I have normally turned up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that much more
it's
crisp
fine.
for me.
I'll just edit it in post. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah,
You're
dude.
sipping on a Coors Light,
I'm
see there,
sipping on a
Joe.
Coors Light.
What made you go with the Silver Mountains, or the mountains being blue? Silver bullet, as they say.
The silver bullet, that's right. I honestly just grabbed what was in my fridge, and we have a surplus of Coors Light in the fridge right now.
Not a bad problem to have.
Yeah, some Sam Adams, some Coors Light.
If you get old Papa Shire over there, he'll take care of them Coors Lights, because I've seen the man down a 30 rack in less than an hour.
That's impressive.
I have not seen that.
Rush that man to the hospital.
Do not quote me on that. I mean, he works at hospitals. He does it before his shifts.
Shit.
He's told me once I cannot drive sober, and then shotgunned a Coors Light, and then proceeded to drive me to daycare.
Crying the whole time.
This was a story from a few weeks ago because my parents were tired of me being home all day while they're at work, so they checked me into daycare.
Yeah.
Because you can do that. There's loopholes. There's no age limit on daycares. People don't think about that.
Is there really not?
I have no idea.
I'm sure there is.
Most of this channel is not backed up by fact. And that's a fact.
Yeah, we heard that there's no age limit on daycares. So
yeah.
Go check your ninth grade delinquent son into a daycare.
He heard it from me, and I just made it up. So that's how rumors start.
And you heard it here first, folks.
Hey, intern, look up if there's an age limit on daycares. That's why we got you a microphone, you stupid idiot. God, these interns are garbage.
He's doing great.
He hasn't once gotten me a coffee. Intern, what's my coffee order? Just say what my coffee order is.
You don't like coffee.
Shit, he's good. What's Joey's coffee order? Even I know Joey's coffee order.
Straight black.
He's right.
That's right.
He's
That's
damn
exactly
right.
how I like my men.
Straight and black. You like to turn them. It's more of a chase for you.
Now, you want to hear a funny... Yikes. You want to hear a joke that you're going to think is racist until I say the punchline?
Yes.
Okay. This might get cut. I'm not sure.
It won't, because it's not me saying it.
You're right. Let me just take a...
Get you a swig of Coors.
So I like my coffee the way I like my slaves.
Mm-hmm. Free.
Okay.
Nice.
There
we go.
Good one.
I was just saying my own personal beliefs.
Yeah.
That's actually in my online improv class I've been doing. That's the closing game we've been doing. Is I like my blank, or I like my men / women like my blank, and it's just you pick a random object and everyone goes through and just kind of you're supposed to act like you're a really bad comedian, and the goal is either to get a laugh or just like a really bad groan. Like you're as successful with each, and so like. One of them was llamas, and so I said I like my women like my llamas, preferably from a South American country, and I got a few groans.
Yeah.
Got a few laughs, too. It's a good way to figure out what people's sense of humor is, but it's a fun little finisher game.
Yeah.
You got to just not hold back, though, because you got to realize everyone's an adult and can take slightly edgy humor.
Yeah.
That or everyone hates me, because that's my thought process.
They're like, we just gotta laugh at him for a couple more weeks until the class is over, and then he can never sign up again.
Yeah. I switch between men and women just to not be misogynist, because I don't know if people would be upset if I was degrading women so hard. So I degrade men a good bit too.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. You know, you can punch up, but you can't punch down.
Exactly. Like we did mailboxes, and this one got a big laugh from the instructor. It was I like my men like my mailboxes erect in the front yard, and I thought that one was pretty good.
Nice.
It's kind of hard because you have to like think on your toes. Here, I'll give you one.
Yeah.
The object's macaroni. Go.
Oh, I have to come up with
Yeah,
one?
men or women, I like my blank like my blank. Come on, Joe, you're on the spot.
Oh my God. I'm scared.
I like my men like my macaroni. The cheesier, the better.
I like my women like I like my Milwaukee's Best Light beer.
No, you're supposed to say macaroni. I gave you macaroni.
Wait, what?
I said macaroni, and then you started thinking. I don't know what you're thinking about.
Oh, wait. So
we all do the same object. Okay.
Dial it back, dial it back.
Clocks. Clocks
so
the new object.
I like my clocks like I like.
No, I like my men like my clocks.
Okay.
Or women.
Okay.
Okay.
I like my men like I like my clocks.
Mm-hmm.
With a big head and a swinging chain in between them legs.
There you go, baby.
I'm thinking of a tall, like,
Like a grandfather clock.
Yeah, like a grandfather clock with all I could think about was balls.
I like my men like I like my clocks huge and British.
Nice.
There we go.
That's so much better than mine.
Hey man, groans are as good as laughs. I'm just trying to put you on the spot.
I don't think they even groaned. They were just like, dude, what's he talking about?
Vote in the comments whether you groan. Just type groan or laugh in the comments and we'll know.
And if you didn't do either, just type a healthy kill yourself, Joey.
That's fine too. We accept all criticism. We're adults.
I am, yeah. Death threats are
They're completely fine here at the Zesty
here at
Podcast.
ZestyBoyz, but only at us because we can take it.
Yeah, don't do it to anybody else.
Don't do it to other people.
If you
That's
do it
not
to
cool.
anybody else, we'll ban you. We'll ban you. I'm just kidding. I don't know if you can ban people. We're gonna call Susan Wojcicki, or however you pronounce her last name.
I don't know who you're referencing.
She's like the CEO of YouTube or some shit.
Yeah, I know
We'll tell her to
Susan.
ban you if you send death threats to other people. You can send death threats to us because we're looking for reasons. So send those, and that's it.
We're taking applications.
Joey, I heard you have a good story.
Oh yeah,
And I
on
want-
the way
I
over
wanna hear
here.
it.
I take personal I don't know, not offense, but I always take note of times when I offend another driver on the road.
Yeah.
So I pull up and I want to say, this guy doesn't know I'm about to completely expose him. I hope he's a viewer. Sorry, I'm adjusting my mic. So I pull up to a red light. There's a Lexus stopped in front of me
Alexis.
that's lowered. Like, it's like scraping the asphalt.
Mm-hmm.
So already I have little to no respect for the gentleman in front of me.
Oh, yes.
And I do know it was a gentleman. His windows were completely blacked out. And I don't know. I just pulled up to the light right as it turned green. We sat there while the light was green for a good 2 or 3 seconds.
Sorry, I was doing a little audio work.
No, it's
live on
okay.
the
I was
show.
watching you work.
I was worried for
It's a
second.
powerful thing to watch.
Exactly. I feel like my hands
To watch
are
an
like all like
artist
this.
at work is something to cherish and behold. But anyway, so I'm stuck behind this guy, this Lexus that's lowered with a blacked out windshield.
Ooh.
He-
Do they have their Instagram at on a sticker on their
No.
back windshield?
I wish.
Did you think it was
I would have
Ross?
followed him.
No.
I would have called him out.
Remember
That's a
Ross
that's a
from
Mercedes.
Sawney Elementary? Oh, it wasn't Mercedes. Yeah, he had an Instagram ad on the back of his car.
There's a lot of people who do that.
Hey, that's cool. I bet he gets followers just because people are like,
He probably
What?
does. I mean, I'd follow him. I didn't follow him, though.
yeah.
We
Anyways,
worked with him for a summer.
I just
Didn't even follow
lied.
him.
Shabow. So we're sitting there while the light is green for a good 2 or 3 seconds. I'm in a good mood. I'm not like upset. I'm not in a rush. So I give him
A little.
a little just boop, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's a polite thing to do.
yeah.
I've been like in my car and like, I don't know. Just
I always
like,
wave when people do that to me. Like,
Yeah.
oh, shit, sorry.
yeah, like I've been distracted and someone does it and I'll wave. I've also been distracted and had someone just like lay the horn on behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I know I'm in the wrong.
Yeah.
So like, even if someone does that, I'm usually just like, oh, sorry, shit. But this guy, I give him the toot. He immediately, I see the window go down as he takes off, and he hits me with the old middle finger thumb hook.
Oh, the thumb. I've never been a thumb guy.
No, I always just give him one of these.
Yeah, I usually like just do like this guy.
Yeah, but this guy does all that, and he gives me that in his side view mirror, and I didn't know what to do. I'm not gonna turn around and flick him back off, so I
Yeah.
just literally I had one hand on the wheel and I just went.
I remember vaguely in middle school people saying if there was a thumb, it was less offensive, so you could use it.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. I think if you get this and this from a, I don't know. This does feel more angry than this. I don't
Yeah.
know. This just feels douchier. I don't know why.
this feels like I'm like a influencer, and I'm just like posing for a photo. Like
This seems like something more women do than men. Do this one. In my personal experience, not in the whole scheme of things, but I've seen more women do the thumb.
How often have you been flipped off?
Many times. But yeah, I always go with like just double birds usually, just kind of like
yeah. I've never been hit with this, but I imagine I would immediately be quaking in my shoes. Someone who hits me with the good old up yours.
up yours. I like doing the thumbs down now. I feel like it hurts more than giving a middle finger.
Yeah, just come on, man.
Idiot. We learned a little bit of sign language over the summer just from. We worked at a school and there was like the speech pathologist room and they had the different letters for sign language, and we learned FUCK like in sign language just so we like point at people and do that. And so so
it's like you fuck.
If we met a blind or not a blind person, they wouldn't be able to see it at all. If we met a deaf person who was being a real asshole, we could do that to them.
Nice.
And we could cover our mouth just in case because we're assuming they can't read lips in this scenario. There we go.
There we go. We're foolproof now.
Foolproof. We
can
insult
handle
anybody.
anyone.
I'm gonna learn how to make braille so I can write fucking braille also.
Make braille.
Make braille. Break bread.
I just thought about this when you said this is less offensive.
Mm-hmm.
In elementary school, I distinctly remember as a budding young Christian, someone telling me if you flick off downward, you're like telling
means fuck the devil.
Yeah, and I thought that was so cool.
I remember hearing that also because if you went like this, it meant fuck God, and everyone was really upset about that.
Yeah. So I'd be like, hey guys, and all my
my
other Christian friends would be like, dude, that's.
I don't know if he remembers this, but you know Sam, the D&D guy.
Yes.
So when I first met him, it was in 4th or 5th grade, and my friend who was real into Wiccan and stuff like that at the time introduced. It might have been him or my friend who's real into World of Warcraft. One of them introduced me to not Lucas.
Okay.
Different Josh. But they introduced me to Sam, and Sam, the first thing he did, he was like, check this out. This is like a little, I don't know if he said magic or like spirituality. If he watches this, he's going to say it was a lie, but I know for a fact it's true because I distinctly remember this. He spit on the ground, it was like on a root, put a leaf over it, and like did like a weird little symbol, and then pulled it up and was like, see, the spit's in a shape of a star, and it wasn't. And I was like, holy shit, how'd you do that? Because I was actually, but at the time I was like, he did something. I don't know what he did, but it's really cool. That was my first impression of Sam, was him being... Yeah, that's magic right there.
Mind freak.
It was David Blaine. Yeah, if I don't think he would remember that nor believe it if I told him that.
Dude,
but
that's
I
awesome.
guarantee you that happened. I think about it every day.
I want to get a live video of him doing that this day.
Maybe he still does it. That's what, like, anytime he meets people, he's like, "You guys want to see a party trick?"
Little something I picked up in grade school.
It's a star.
That's awesome, Sam.
One of my the same Josh I was talking about, who is big into World of Warcraft. This was before I knew what World of Warcraft was. He was telling me he was part of a gang called the Horde, which is one of the 2 factions in World of Warcraft, and there was an other gang called the Alliance.
Yes,
and they hated each other. And
those are the 2 factions.
He was teaching me how to build traps and weapons out of paper clips because he said at nights on weekends they used to go in the woods and fight each other, like him and other kids, and like he had friends in the gang and the other gang had people, and they would go out and fight with these tools.
Amazing.
And so he was teaching me how to make all these traps and stuff. He's like, you need to come to a fight. I was like, I don't know if I can. It's so late. My parents won't let me. And he would always tell me about, oh, dude, we kicked their ass. I beat this one. I made this one kid bleed because I punched him in the face so hard, and just shit like that. And I just believed it. And then when I learned what World of Warcraft was, that's the first thing I thought of. And I was just thinking, you son of a bitch. You lied to me. Even though I knew he lied to me before I learned what World of Warcraft was. But it made it all the more funny when I learned what that was.
In a child's mind, he wanted the clout of being like in fights and like being a cool like gang kid, but he didn't have the imagination to come up with a new name. So he took that which was familiar to him, i.e. World of Warcraft.
I didn't know jack shit about it. It worked. It was perfect.
Like, yeah, I'm a Tauren paladin.
Oh man, that sounds important. In the Horde. And I remember him saying at one point that he was actually part of the Alliance, but was secretly being in the Horde. I remember this.
Oh.
This is before I learned all.
Double agent.
Exactly, but then he was a double agent. So he was testing me when he said that. I passed. So I could still be part of the Horde.
Oh my gosh! I bet you were sweating.
I was sweating. Oh no! I just lost my best friend.
You freaking Alliance apologist.
I forgive the sins of the Alliance. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
The horde is the true way of the light.
Yeah.
I go in the woods every night looking for these children, just so I can beat the shit out of them with my paper clips.
To this day, a 23-year-old man wanders the woods of Forsyth County
Exactly.
searching,
There's gangs. There's children
searching
gangs
for
everywhere.
alliance.
Have you seen the horde?
I am with the horde. Come with me.
Learned all like the horde lingo and signs.
Nice, like DPS and
Exactly.
heals.
I'm a tank. There we go.
tank.
I'd be a tank to a bunch of children.
GG.
Just wrap myself in Kevlar and just run out in the middle, draw
Yeah.
all their fire.
I played WoW for a little bit.
WoW, I think, would be one of the best games I've ever played, but I'm waiting until I get a full-time job to start. Because right now, if I just start playing WoW, then I'm gonna.
I don't think
play
you
it way
should
too
get
much.
involved in it.
Mhm.
Honestly,
Like at all.
yeah, that is a black hole of time.
I really like those games because the only reason I didn't do it when I was younger was because you had to pay $15 a month. So I played Guild Wars.
Yeah.
But then I played the free trial of World of Warcraft, and it was nostalgia that I didn't. It was nostalgia because it was an RPG, like an MMORPG, but also all new to me. So it was like building new nostalgia.
Super
so
cool.
I know I would really enjoy the game, but I know it's
Yeah.
gonna be a huge time sink and not worth it at all.
Yeah, I played it the summer going into college with Mitchell.
He got me into it also.
Yeah. And dude, me and him, I would sit down at midday, like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and all of a sudden I've been playing for 12 hours and it's time for bed.
That's how it was with Guild Wars with me, just because it was free online play. Me and old Zach played that, and then Tommy started playing it. Tommy was a little bitch when we played it because I had it, and I had one character slot open, and I was like, you know what, I'll let Tommy play a character slot and let him try it. And then this was my account. I paid for the game. He made a character slot. And then we used to have this rule where if you were playing a video game or playing on the computer, we had one computer. If someone said 30 minutes, you had 30 minutes to play, and then the other person got on. And then you could call 30 minutes on them. And so I gave him a character slot, and then he would always call 30 minutes on me. And then I wanted to make a new character, and I was like, I'm going to delete yours. And then he went to our mom, and my mom was like, you can't delete his character. And I was like, this is my game. And he ended up buying it for himself later. But it was just one of the most frustrating things.
Yeah.
Intern, you look like you want to talk.
It was kind of flawed on your part, though. You can't give someone a character and then expect them to be all like happy when you decide, I'm gonna delete your guy and start something else.
Well, see, since you're speaking for my brother, the devil's advocate in this scenario, which I appreciate, intern, the fact that I gifted him a character slot to see if he liked the game, that was like my intent. I don't know how I worded it back then, but this is my intentions the whole time. Let him try the game, see if he likes it. And then it turned into, he owns 1/5 of my account now because I can't make all the classes because he has one of the spots.
It is really
well,
unfair.
your brother might not be able to argue because he might not remember any of this ever happening.
Because I beat the shit out of him for it. Gave him severe brain damage. I remember it. I remember it good and well because I used to get home from swim practice because I was older than him, so I was in the swim practice that was early morning, the 6 a.m. or the 7 a.m. swim practice. He was in the 8:30. And so I'd get home and have an hour and a half where no one could call 30 minutes on me. I had a sweet
baby.
spot of time.
Give me that.
It was Guild Wars. Then I switched, I don't know if he did, to Wizards 101 for a while, which was a pretty shitty game because unless you paid for it, you could only get to a certain level.
Yeah.
That and Toontown, was that the game? Was that what it was called?
I remember that game.
But yeah, I played Toontown for a little bit, but that was the golden age. I watched Total Drama Island on the TV that was right next to the computer.
Nice.
That and 16, garbage show, but that was always on.
Total Drama Island, that was cool.
I like Total Drama. They're still making spin-offs of that. There's
No,
like
they're not.
Total Drama daycare shit now, and
Really?
it's
Wow.
the hosts are adults still, but all of the cast all the castaways, I guess, are like toddlers now. Old Owen's still there. He's the only one Gwen, she was the goth girl.
Nice.
I think those are the only two I remember. Owen was the fat guy, and Gwen was the goth girl. I remember when they first came out, I was like, I want either one of them to win. I like them, which is probably what everyone thought because they were written as the better, like the protagonist. And then when they were in the final two, I was like, holy shit.
This is
I'm
crazy.
a goddamn genius.
Yeah. I see potential. I recognize potential.
Recognize potential. It's probably just because it was very clearly written that they were the good characters.
Yeah, they were like, okay, we're writing the show for babies.
Yeah, everyone else
We
is a
can
piece
make
of
them
shit
like
besides
these guys.
them. The fat guy who makes fart noises, he's going to be in the finish. And then
Babies are gonna love him.
the one sensible, nice person, she's the other one.
Yeah.
And also, there were so many goth girl characters in our childhood. I feel like that's why that whole goth GF thing is like a big thing now, because we were bred to like goth girls.
I immediately think of like Danny Phantom.
Exactly, Danny Phantom. I think there was one in Fairly Odd Parents. I saw
Probably.
a post where it just showed all of them, and they were all in the same era too, and it's just so many different.
I've seen that too.
The girl from, I think it was Kim Possible was goth.
Oh yeah, with the green. That's really pale.
Mm-hmm. That one girl from Phineas and Ferb is not really goth. She just wears all black. Doofenshmirtz's daughter.
Oh yeah.
I don't know the list. I feel like I've been rambling about childhood for a while. I'll let you get a word in here, Joseph.
No, do you remember the Cartoon Network MMO that they tried to make stick? It was like had like Ben 10 in it, and it was like
I vaguely remember this.
it didn't work. It flopped. But
it was like a Final Fantasy they tried to do, kind of, because Disney's
like
Final
that.
Fantasy. I think, I don't know.
Oh my
I
god.
did used to like Cartoon Network games on the computer.
I don't remember what it was called, but I was in the focus group for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They like called my house and they asked like,
Is Joey there?
well, they asked my mom. They were like, "Hey, do you have like a son around this age?" And she was like, "Yeah." And they like got me on the phone. They were like, "What kind of video games do you play?" And around this time, I didn't have any damn video games in my house. My parents like wouldn't let me play them, but I played at Mitchell's house all the time. So Stolen Valor, stole that clout from Mitchell.
Stolen Valor. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying a game, but you were just stealing clout from Mitchell.
Yeah.
Mitchell deserved that spot in
He
the focus
did.
group.
Stolen Valor. But yeah, so they were like asking me about like video games I played, and I was like, yeah, I play World of Warcraft all the time. They're probably like, oh, this is great. This is some loser 8-year-old that plays World of Warcraft.
Kid's probably 300 pounds.
I don't think people that play World of Warcraft are losers.
Yeah,
I was a loser.
That was an attack.
No.
At our fan
I
day.
am a loser. But
Jeez.
but yeah, so I was like, yeah, I play World of Warcraft all the time. I'm like, pretty big deal.
I'm a monk.
I don't remember
Priest.
what I was.
I'm a dark priest.
I remember I was a Tauren. I think I was a Tauren hunter.
Yeah,
No, I was a Tauren druid.
I got to level 60 as a fighter. You know, it's really difficult, but I did it.
Yeah, not a class.
That was before.
Not a
Is
class.
it warrior?
Yeah, okay, warrior. There you go.
That was before like Pandemonium and all those maps all those DLCs came out.
Pandaren, but
Yeah,
okay,
close
whatever.
enough. Lich King.
Wrath of the Lich King.
Because max level was probably 60 back then, wasn't it? Or was it 70? Because I remember Pandemonium and Lycan King made it so it went up higher.
Yeah, the Wrath of the Lich King added the Death Knight, and I think it increased level cap to 70.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pandaren came along after that, and I think it increased it to 80.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cataclysm, I think, was after Pandaren, which increased it to 90.
Oh, jeez.
And
Now it's Battle for Azeroth, isn't it?
something like
Or
that.
something like that.
Yeah, I came in. I was playing while Pandaren was hot.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was playing while Battle for Azeroth was hot.
nice. Yeah,
Which was last summer. 2 summers ago? No, last
Yeah.
summer, I think. Yeah, I'll give it that. I'll say last summer. Final answer.
well, actually, no. I came in and played when Cataclysm just happened.
Oh.
I think. But yeah, I was a panda. I was a Pandaren monk named Obiko.
Wow,
Most recently.
you were Po from Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, Obiko was supposed to be like, like Obi Kenobi. Obiko.
Obi
Yeah.
Kenobi sounds so much funnier than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi Kenobi.
I accidentally called him that once, and it was one of the funniest things that's happened to me.
That's what I tried to name my character, but it was taken.
Obiko. Someone else had the good idea first.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I had to go with Obiko.
Obiko.
A great value version of Obiko Nobi.
Obi Kenobi. Yeah, I like it. Obiko. How's he doing? He logged on recently?
No, I also don't pay for it anymore, so I can't log on.
Obiko is being held hostage
I'm
right now.
sure my I forget what their little thing, BattleNet account is still active.
Battle.net.
So I can probably get on and look at Obiko.
And could see
I
what
won't.
see what he's doing.
Yeah,
Get tempted.
I was super into Hearthstone too.
I never got into Hearthstone.
I like card games.
We talked about this on the last podcast. It's just
really?
Because all of my friends who were into Hearthstone when I was trying to get into it were already really good, and so I always just got shat on by them.
Yeah.
And it's the same way I look at chess or other games like that, where it's just this could take up to an hour. Do I really want to sink that much time into this game? Because once I'm playing, I enjoy it, but just the thought of, oh my god, it's gonna be 7 o'clock by the time I'm done with this. Do I really want to sink that much time?
Well, also, like, not to mention, like, with card games like that, especially, like, I don't know, with, like, video game card games, like Hearthstone, you can reach, like, the top of the free-to-play, but you're never going to be that good.
Yeah, unless you spend a few $1,000s to buy cards and shit. That's how Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because I could play it on my phone. It was, like, half as many cards as you can normally have in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was just quick games.
Yeah.
And I got pretty good at it. And my big brother in my fraternity, I always whooped his ass in it, and he got really butthurt about it. So if you're watching, you're a little bitch, and I could take you to church any day on Duel Links. Just kidding, I can't anymore because I stopped playing 2 years ago. Yeah. And they made the game, because it used to be basically pay to win, but now it's definitely pay to win, because you can just buy whatever cards you want now. Because it used to be, I used to really liked how it was set up, because there were something like 12 or 14 different boxes of cards, and the way it works is it's like real world. So in this Blue Eyes White Dragon box of cards, there's all the little tiny skinny packs that you buy at like the grocery store, like those little ones. And in every box set, there's always a guaranteed, there's 10 of this card, 8 of this card, 7 of this card, and there's always one ultra rare and I think 1 or 2 super rares in every box. So out of 200 cards, one of them is guaranteed to be ultra rare. And so if you buy all, 100 packs, you're guaranteed to get all of the cards in the deck. But if you buy the first pack, it could have the ultra rare in it, or you could have to buy all 100 packs or whatever to get the ultra rare. Yeah. And so it's kind of like real world market in that sense, and you use the gems you got in game from like playing. And so it took a really long time to build good decks, because a lot of good decks, you need 3 of the same ultra rare. And so you get the ultra rare, you reset the box. And it was almost like weirdly nostalgic, because you were buying cards like how you would in real life. Yeah. And if you just bought the entire box of the cards, you were guaranteed every card that comes in the set. Mm-hmm. And there was like 14 or 15 different boxes. And I thought it was a really cool setup. But now you can just buy whatever card you want if you use real money, and game's ruined because rich people can do whatever they want.
Yeah. I don't get it, man. I don't get like sinking that much money into a game like that.
I mean, if you're completely loaded, like if you grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was your shit, and then it comes out this app and you're making $80K a year, like I can spend $100 on buying Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Yeah. And then you spend $100 and then you're the best in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like you were when you were a kid. Right. So, I don't know.
I think we are like, this next drop of consoles is gonna jack the price of video games up. Mm-hmm. So high, because they're already like underpriced, like $60 for games that are like 800 plus hours. Mm-hmm. Like, I think about like
I remember when games were like 30, and then they got the PS3, Xbox 360, they jacked them up to like 50, 60, and now they're like 70-ish for some games.
I think it's gonna get like another overhaul
up to almost 100. You think?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they're already like games that are dropping that are like that much with like all their like add-on packs and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think about like games like The Witcher 3 that like have like 800 plus hours, and it's like well known that like I don't know, that like a lot of, it's just huge production teams putting together an amazing game that probably could have been sold for over $60.
I guess it's one of those things where they have to determine, all right, we could sell this for $100, but we're going to lose 40% of the market because these people can't afford it. So if we make it $60, we'll sell blank amount more. So that's more of a marketing thing, I would think. I don't know anything about video game development and marketing and sales and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know either, but I just, like a lot of these games, I'm just like, wow.
And with inflation, too, I could definitely see them at least jumping up $10 a game, because that's like small enough where you don't even really notice it. Yeah. And then they'll just progressively, like PS5, when all that comes out, first games will be $75, and it's like, oh, it's like as a brand new console. And then by year 3, they're $85, and they keep increment like going up by $4 or $5 each like edition, each series. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to buy the console. I have a PC, and I've never really liked console gaming that much. So
Yeah, I've always done it. All my friends are on consoles, so now with Discord though, get to play with you and everybody else.
Yeah, Discord's cool. Or I guess with Discord you can talk to everybody, but
Yeah, you can't play.
you have to find, like Minecraft's a cross-platform game,
Yeah.
but I don't know if there's really any other cross. Is Grand Theft Auto cross-platform? Red Dead Redemption might have been.
They're starting to like. A lot of games are starting to get in on that.
I think it's a good idea because
Call of Duty is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I guess there's probably a lot more like development. I don't know if it'd be developmental or more network side that would be more work for them to make it cross-platform.
Yeah.
But I don't really see a reason to not do it because if me and you, I have PS5, you have Xbox 8 or whatever it's gonna fucking be. If we were like, oh, it's by Call of Duty, then it's like, oh, it's not cross-platform. Oh, but the new Halo is cross-platform. Let's just get that one.
Right.
Because, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they have focus groups for this and market researchers and shit. So maybe they just listen to those podcasts to hear their new marketing advice when they're wondering what to do with the next gen console. They turn to the Zesty podcast.
What up?
We're always here for you.
I've also heard that the golden age of video games is behind us because now like because people are realizing, or rather. You know, like, it's really cool to be on a production team for a video game. Like, that's, like, a child's dream. And those people are, like, some of the most overworked people ever.
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the video game industry, but I hear it all the time that, like, oh, you know, like, the production team for the recent Assassin's Creed title, you know, was working, like, 12-hour days all week, you know.
Yeah.
Working, like, 60-plus hour weeks. And now, like, there's a lot more, I don't know. Like, people are starting to, like, say, like, I'm not working under these conditions.
Yeah. And so the people who would be designing the great games aren't willing to work. And they're going to probably go and make their own indie projects, which are going to be way less budget and so turn out not as good.
Right. And, like, these companies like Bethesda that put out, like, massive games like Fallout and, like, Elder Scrolls no longer are going to have the human capital that they once had because they can't keep paying people minimum wage to work 60-hour weeks.
Or even like $18, $20 an hour for that skilled labor. I don't think that would be enough.
Oh, God, yeah. I couldn't even programming and like all that stuff. No way.
Like, game physics and shit. I don't even know how any of that works. I don't know how you can like generate a dragon on the computer. What do you type in Notepad or whatever fucking software to generate a dragon?
Yeah,
how does that work? Artists and shit. I think my friend Carter would really like this job, being a video game concept artist. So if they're like, we're making the new Elder Scrolls, we need to figure out what this town would look like. Here's all, like, we're thinking we're thinking lava, we're thinking real purple, like obsidian, and then he would take all their stuff and then draw a concept like, yeah, we like that, or no, we don't like that, and then just basically take fine arts and draw what they think so that people can program and digital artists can like create that. That seems like a pretty sweet gig.
I'd like to like be like a story writer for a game.
Yeah.
Like, but I'd want to like just do like stupid dialogue. Like, I don't want to like write like the real story. I would want to be like, you're in charge of like 8 side quests. Make them weird.
I went to a panel at a film festival once where it was video game writers who were there, and they were talking about writing dialogue and writing stories for video games, and they said it's really weird because you want to write it like you would write a film, but you also have to write it to make it seem like the person who's playing is coming up with the ideas themselves. Like, it's not like, do you want to fight the dragon? It's, you're trying to make it so that the person is influenced to fight the dragon. And there's a lot more writing than you think there would be, because if there's, I don't even know, I'll just try to come up with a quick like a fake example, or like in Skyrim, you want to fight this dragon, but there's also a farm quest. You got to figure out a way to get the farm quest to pique your interest while you're also trying to fight a dragon. It sounds like so many different spider-webby, different mixed alliances, World War I-esque stories and quests, and being a video game writer sounds really difficult, but I'm also not a very good writer, so any kind of writing sounds difficult.
I just think writing's fun. I don't think I'm that good at it.
You should pursue it. Pursue it, Joey.
You know?
Do it.
Maybe I will.
Quit your day job.
Can't. Can't.
You can.
No, I like my day job too. It's been fun.
Do you do characters when you're real estating?
I think that would be counterproductive.
Build backstory.
That'd be
lore.
awesome, though.
Just take someone or showing a house. You're just in the corner, like eating an apple with a knife. Like, oh, I knew you'd be showing up soon.
Yeah. I bet they haven't told you about the third room on the right.
This weird lore. You should never have come here.
It's a beautiful house, ain't it? Have you met the neighbors?
It's a shame what happened in the 60s. What happened in the 60s? You don't want to know.
It would take too long. Sit.
Sit. Have some fruit.
Have an ale.
And pour him a glass of wine from your wine skin.
Who are you? I'm a real estate agent.
I'm with Mark Spain Realty.
I'm a traveler like you, employed by the real estate agency.
The name's Seamus. Been real estating in these lands for 30-odd years.
Never seen anything like this property. Horrifying.
You aren't from around here, are ya? I can tell because you ain't covered with scars. All right, we're leaving, honey. Leave like the rest of them. Yeah, bro. You got the Rona? I'm gonna put my face shield on. It's an HD face shield protection, high definition, 8K. Buy 8K TVs. So, what time are we at? We're still cooking a little bit. What's your bummer of the week, Joe? We'll start with a bummer. We always start with a super whoop-a-diddy and end on a somber note.
My bummer of the week is without a doubt clients that call me out to
all your clients.
No, not all my
Oh,
clients. I
no.
love my clients.
Shame. Eats apple off knife.
No, there's a lot of people though that'll call you out to a house knowing full well they're probably not going to go with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I got to burp.
Do it.
It's not coming. It's like a sneeze that won't come out. But
the worst.
yeah, there's a lot of clients that'll like call you out to a house knowing like pretty full well they're not going to go with you, but wanting to know what you have to offer.
Mm-hmm. Tease you a little bit.
Yeah, and
Give you some blue balls in the realty business.
right. And I ran into that a couple weeks ago with someone, and they were like, yeah, well, my sister's in real estate, so we're probably going to go with her. And I was just like, I mean, I can't compete with that. Like,
Will you marry me?
yeah. I mean, family. No, there's stuff that you can say, but like, it's a hard, it's
And
an
it's one of those things
uphill
where you
battle.
have to be like, oh, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
Well, let me stay upbeat and show you this house.
Well, also, like, people are immediately like turned off when you're like trying to win their business, which is kind of silly because like when you think about it, you probably want someone who's like hungry, like coming. I would think like listing your house and coming and being like
Someone who's going to work for you.
exactly. You want like someone who's kind of like in your face.
It means something for them to sell you a house, not just an extra pillar for their front porch.
Exactly.
Someone who needs a box to live in.
Like me.
Joey Becknell Realty.
Oh,
I need a box to live in.
I thought that was a client actually. It was just Brady.
Wow, you sell him a house.
I could. He
Do
could
it.
be a client. I could convert him.
Get him drunk, sell him a house.
Yeah.
Is that ethical? Did you have to go through real estate ethics?
I mean, like, yeah, that's like real estate class.
Oh.
There's a lot of like, you can get in jail real fast in real estate. Like if you're like my client,
Which I am.
yeah, you could be.
Look.
Well, technically, until we're under contract, you are a customer to me.
Oh. Customer service is your number one priority, I see.
Bingo. But yeah, so like if I'm with a client and they disclose something like they're going through a divorce and they got to get out of the house fast, I am obligated to not bring that up with anybody else.
You call the house, talk to the husband, say, I heard you're going through a divorce.
Shit.
I heard you're abusive.
Well, yeah. Because I mean, if I told that to the buyer's agent, they could be like, "Oh, they're trying to sell fast. Like we can lowball them on this
Yeah.
price." And
Ethics, man.
yeah,
They
ethics.
suck.
Yeah,
You don't need them.
wish there wasn't any ethics.
You don't need ethics.
Abolish ethics.
Abolish ethics.
Joey Becknell, 2020.
Abolish ethics.
My vice president, COVID-19.
No, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. He is risen. I forgot to post that on my story on Easter. I got unfollowed by about 600 people.
Sheesh.
Didn't put a cross and write, he is risen. I'm trying to bring
That's your own fault. I don't know why you're bringing it up. That's your own fault. You know it. You messed up.
Tim Tebow preaching on the TV.
No.
He was talking about. He did. Tim Tebow gave a sermon or something like that. He was in Atlanta. I think it might have been at Passion City or something like that, but it was telebroadcasted. And he was talking about there was a severely special needs girl in, I want to say he said Kenya. It was somewhere in Africa. I'm going to say Kenya. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. There was this deeply special needs girl, and when she was born, everyone was like, why didn't you get rid of her, to her mother? And the mother just kept her going. Then the mother died. But this one family was looking for an African baby. It was just a really weird story. So like, we wanted to adopt. They were searching around for babies in Africa to adopt. They were an American couple, and they're like, we don't have the financial support. We don't have enough money. We don't have the resources to take care of this girl. But her name was, what was her name? It was like not Jezebel. It might have been Jezebel because it was Jesus Abel or something like that. Or no, Christabel. Christ is able. They're like, her name's Christabel. That means Christ is able. Through Christ, we'll be able to raise this child. And then God gave them all the power to raise the child and stuff. And she's fine now. But what I want to know, like they glanced over how God killed the mom for no reason. That's all I could think about. Like, was she a sinner? But Jesus died for sin, so you can sin. You can do whatever you want. Jesus died for it. That's what I got from that sermon. God's mean and kills people, and then rich white people want to adopt special needs babies for Tim Tebow to talk about them on TV. That's where we're at.
What's your damn bummer? Was that your bummer? Is that what it was?
It should be.
I'm not going to preach it.
God is bad. That's my bummer. No.
The ultimate loophole. You just got to accept him into your heart when you're on your deathbed.
There we go.
You can do anything you want in your life as long as you accept him at the end.
Welcome to my sermon. I'm the new Tim Tebow.
Forgive me, Christ, for I'm a sinner. Okay, I'm ready to die.
That's
my retirement plan.
Forgive me, Christ, also. I am a sinner. So now if anything happens, we're good to go. See you in heaven, Joey. We're equals in God's eyes.
Get on with it. I'm not going to talk about this with you because the moment I open my mouth, I'm
Say
getting
something
bad.
Say something.
No, I'm not going to.
What's my bummer? Just not being able to leave the house. I mean, I guess I can leave the house, but I'm trying to be a good Samaritan.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, just... Oh, no, I had a better bummer. I got denied from unemployment because they only looked at my 2019 jobs, even though my real job, like the actual job I got where I started making money that I would have got unemployment for, started in 2020. They're like, oh, we only look at 2019 right now. And so they're like, you don't deserve this.
Yeah.
No, what's fucked is that, so with this like stimulus check, if you're under 17, your parents get $500 if you're a dependent. If you're over 17 and your parents claim you as a dependent, no one gets anything.
Yeah.
How does that work? If you're a dependent, someone should get something, or you should get something. Like I'm probably not getting any money. My parents aren't getting money. Do we just not count the people who need the money the most? Like, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say what's funny about that is my like little sister is in high school, completely dependent, and like doesn't generate her own money, and she's 18. So.
And parents get nothing. But like I feel really bad for people our age who aren't lucky enough to be living in their parents' house right now, because if we weren't living in our parents' house, like I wouldn't be working, sure as shit, and they wouldn't give me money because I'm in that weird bracket. Like the people who need it the most are getting fucked the most. And if it was someone like me who didn't get the money but has been working since January, you don't get unemployment either because we didn't look at 2020, looked at 2019. I don't understand why it's like the people who have had the least ability to get on their feet are getting fucked the most by this stimulus check bullshit and the virus. I don't know. There are a lot of people getting fucked way worse from the virus, but this whole economical thing is...
Oh, God, it's horrible.
It's super fucked.
Yeah, I saw a funny meme the other day, and it was like some like guy that was like rubbing his hands, like licking his lips.
Yeah, I like that one.
And it said like all the millennials waiting on the housing market to blow up again so they can finally purchase a house at the age of 30. And I was just like, shit.
You need to get out of real estate right around then.
Oh, man. Some might say that's the time to get into it.
Yeah, just low cost, high turnover.
Yeah, start just prioritizing quantity.
Bam, 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 yeah. That's what Mark Spain does. They have high turnover.
They
have
do,
quality
yeah.
product, but they're just so big. They can get you in and out of a house quick.
Well, the thing is, they focus on their marketing. That's like,
I've seen about probably 3 million. I'd say
Yeah.
maybe 4 million Mark Spain billboards in Atlanta.
yeah. I mean, they just focus marketing, and it gets them. Like,
If someone
fast.
says name a real estate agent, Mark Spain, first one I'm gonna say. This
Yeah.
was before you even worked for them. Like it's just always Mark Spain because that's
Yeah.
That's the only one I can name. Keller
They're
Williams,
great.
I think maybe. I don't
yeah,
know.
that's one.
What's your super whoop-a-diddy?
My super whoop-a-diddy
Tired
is
of talking about Mark Spain. We're giving him more free advertisement.
my super whoop-a-diddy is I had an appointment down by where my girlfriend lives, and I got to see her the other day.
All right. Is that when you were drinking champagne in the morning?
Yes, it was.
Right before your appointment?
No, that was the morning after.
Okay.
But yeah, why did I go down? It wasn't for an appointment. That was something else. I saw my girlfriend the other day.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I got to see her. We drank champagne in the morning and did a few puzzles.
Ooh.
So that was nice to do that during
Did you boil
quarantine.
your puzzles to make sure they were clean? That's what Conan O'Brien says to do.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep, gotta sterilize them.
You got to sterilize them by boiling your puzzles.
Like specifically puzzles or just everything?
Just puzzles. But I would take it with a grain of salt.
Well, I'm
Conan
puzzled.
O'Brien's a known comedian.
Wait. No.
He is. Check him out. He's pretty funny. Yeah, if you're not going to say anything, I'll say mine.
Yeah,
I'm
go
tired
ahead.
of this dead air.
What?
You
I
know?
just said seeing my girlfriend.
We get it. You have a girlfriend.
So do you.
I do, but you don't see me bringing her up all the time.
You're right.
That's why she hates me.
Yeah.
Shout out Margaret. But an old high school friend, I played a video game with him last night, and I'm making a video on it.
Cool.
Well, Alejandro, who was in one of the OG Zesty boys from the food review. So
What up, Alejandro?
I played Rust with Alejandro last night. We're probably gonna start playing a good bit. So it was good
Cool.
talking. It was weird because I was expecting it not to be awkward, but to be like kind of weird because it's been 4 years since I've talked to him. But it was just like felt like it was just another day.
Just
and
right back into
right
it.
back into
Oh,
it.
that's awesome.
He's a great guy. Shout out Alejandro. I know you don't watch this,
That's
but if you do, shout out.
playing on that Minecraft run with Barber.
Mhm.
That's how I am.
Yeah, that was weird because like I haven't talked to Barbara in a very long time.
Yeah.
I just had a
hadn't
dialogue with
either.
him. If just out of nowhere, it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I
He's a
think,
cool guy.
I think we're at about a good time to end this episode of the Zesty Podcast. We thank you so much for listening. We are again brought to you by Soundonomy 335 Easter Hex. No, it's 334 Easter Hex. I'm sorry. 335's coming out soon. Don't you forget. It's going to be on Mixcloud.com or Spotify, wherever you choose to get your music. And yeah, we thank you so much for listening. We'll see you on the next one.
For sure. Y'all stay safe out there.